By a writer, multimedia journalist and the convener of the Benue Progressives Forum, Abonu, for discussion on Benue State politics and matters arising. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much, Jimoke. Good evening, Nigerians.
Good evening to you. So let's start this way. The victory of the APC in Benue State came to many as a surprise. I would like you to tell us how it happened.
Well, it shouldn't be a surprise in the right sense of the word, because APC as a party had many grounds for the victory in Benue. One, Benue people are a complex political entity. If you look at the dynamics, the political dynamics in Benue, Benue has always come out to express a collective decision right from the onset of democracy in Nigeria in 1999. PDP ruled Benue for quite a long time, up to 16 years. Senator George Akume was governor in Benue for 8 years. Then Senator Gabriel Suswan came in under the PDP platform. But you know, at the twilight of Suswan's administration, it became clear that Benue people had collectively agreed to toe another line. So the incumbent governor, Samuel Oton, came in. And from that point, the pace has been set for APC as a party. Oton came in under the platform of the APC, but due to political exigencies, he had to move to PDP. And the second term, during his second term, he was on the PDP platform. But then again, Benue people found themselves at a particular juncture that a collective decision had to be taken. And that's where we could properly contextualize the victory of APC in the recent election in Benue. APC won overwhelmingly in Benue because, for one, the structure of the party went to the grassroots, appealed to the grassroots instinct. And then we found that the grassroots, they have just very, simple demands. They just want a fair share of what government promises to offer. They were not able to get that properly in the past couple of years. So they came together and enforced their decision, and that's why APC won overwhelmingly both at the presidential election, the National Assembly elections, and the state elections. The party's candidate, APC's candidate in Benue, His Excellency Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, was a household name, and he made it easier for APC to take the day. And they didn't just win the governorship election. The party won at the national level. Out of 11 National Assembly seats, House of Representatives seats, APC got 10. And out of three Senate seats, APC got 2. Not to mention the overwhelming victory in the Benue State, in the incoming Benue State House of Assembly, where the party is proud to bring over 25 incoming members of the incoming Benue Assembly. So the victory didn't come as a surprise, to come back to your question. The stage had already been set for the victory of APC in Benue for over some time now. Thank you.
All right. So, as a young man and the convener of the Benue Progressive Forum, what role do you think young people played in making this victory to happen?
The Benue people played an overwhelming role, I told you. If you go across the state, okay, young people, if you check the demography in Benue, you know, the political demography indicates that the young people are the crux of the electoral process because, I mean, they bring out their energy into action, they turn out to vote, they mobilize for support, you know. So the bulk of it was on our shoulders to go to the hinterlands, to go to the grassroots, to tell the people what they needed to do. And then I represent those young people who wanted a change, I mean, a positive change. And we enforced it. We enforced our decision. And today, there's going to be change, in leadership in Benue, political leadership in Benue. So young people played their role, and they played it to the later.
So were you at any time worried that the Labour Party tsunami will overwhelm Benue State, given its huge Christian population?
Yes. You know, we have to accept certain realities. The Labour Party came, and they came like a movement, the obedient movement, and whatever coloration they are called. They came they came with their antics. Everybody in politics, all is fair, so long as you're looking at your end to victory. Labour Party came, the candidate of the party in Benue for the governorship election, Honorable Herman Hembe, is some person that had been in the political equation in Benue for a long time. He has been in the House of Reps for a record 4 terms, you know, and nationally, while the wind of change was sweeping, a lot of people thought that Benue would be carried by that Labour Party tsunami, as you people would want to term it. But in Benue, people vote not according to religion, so to say. Benue is overwhelmingly a Christian state, yes, but even in the Christian, faith, there are divisions. The candidate of the party in Benue is a Reverend Father. The Anglicans in Benue, the NKST is there. They have their variances with the Catholic Church. But all of these people came together and forged a common front to deliver Benue people, to bring in good governance, to bring in a man who is going to make a huge difference in the political process in Benue. So the Labour Party, I would be fair to them. They did their best, but that best wasn't enough to produce a change in leadership to their favor in Benue.
So let's move away from that quickly to some other conversation. It's 10 days to the inauguration of a new administration in Benue State. How will you describe the mood in the state at the moment?
Well, everybody across Benue, the people are expectant. It is going to be a new government, a new administration is coming in, a new dispensation is coming in with promises. So the people are jubilant. It's an excitement in Benue because Benue delivered a majority of their votes for the president-elect, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu. APC won in Benue. Benue is going to have a new governor, Reverend Father Alia. Benue will have a new set of leaders across boards. So the expectation is akin to a people looking up to the coming of the rain after a long spell of drought. Thank you.
So, the people of Benue State, yes, are expecting a new government from a different party. How excited are the people about the incoming administration? How excited are they?
This excitement about the people of the people in Benue, I have told you it's overwhelming. The people were excited to vote in a new governor. They have had a taste of what the PDP had to offer. In the circumstances, you have the security challenges, you have the very lackluster, economic indications from Benue. The people of Benue are throwing out their arms to welcome the new government, to welcome a new administration. And this time around, it is the administration of Father Alia under the APC. So it is going to be, a new morning in Benue. It is a break of a new dawn. The people are expecting what comes with a new day. So, that captures the essence of the expectation of Benue people at this point.
All right. So, you're a stakeholder. How confident are you in the ability of Reverend Father Alia to deliver the dividends of democracy to Benue people? How confident are you?
Well, the father has a background. I have come across the Reverend Father before during my university days, and here is a man who has unrivaled passion. You could actually sense his passion to serve at whatever responsibility he found himself. So, before he became governor, Father Alia, to a reasonable extent, was a household name in Benue. And then coming in as a priest, we all know what to expect from a priest. A priest is a representative of God amongst the people, even from the Old Testament. The office of the priest symbolizes truth, symbolizes transparency, symbolizes progress. So, personally, I am of very high expectations that the new administration in Benue, the incoming administration in Benue under Reverend Father Alia, would judiciously, justify the collective confidence of Benue people. I have no doubt about him. People are expecting that he would perform. People are expecting a new day in Benue. So it beckons on him to give his best. And I personally think, and majority of Benue people, I'm a grassroots person. We go to the villages, we go to our villages, we feel the people's pulse. And the pulse of the people pulsates to change. And the Reverend Father represents that change. I am positive, I am certain that Reverend Father Alia would meet the expectations of Benue people.
All right, we'll get back to that, but let's quickly talk about the internal wranglings within the APC in Benue State. Just 2 days ago, the state chairman was here, Austin Agada, expressing so much frustration about some pre-election happenings within the party. The APC accused some members like Barnabas Gemade, Professor Chija, and others of working against the party. What is the true position of things, Mr. Adams?
Well, the position of things in Benue is, the APC in Benue is at a point where we would promote unity, we would promote harmony. Because, in an environment of rancor, you wouldn't expect any meaningful development. I watched the interview you mentioned with Comrade Austin Agada, the state chairman of the party. And, Austin Agada is my contemporary. We have been mates in the university. We did student politics together. I can actually feel his grievances. But the situation of things in the Benue APC at this particular point is where every hand should be on deck for the incoming administration of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu to perform to Benue people's expectation. Every hand should be on deck for the incoming administration of Reverend Father Alia to meet the expectations of Benue people, to be able to put good food on the tables of Benue families. So regardless of what mischief makers would want to bring, in fact, there's an industry that survives on when rancor exists in the political family. And we are not going to wait to see matters deteriorate. I know that the characters mentioned, the character of the people mentioned, Senator Barnabas Gemade, Professor Shija, Senator George Akume, all of these people, there is a common consensus among these people, which is bring good governance to Benue. Senator Barnabas Gemade ran for the governorship in Benue. I am very positive that he had good intentions for the people of Benue. And he had good grants. I mean, it was his constitutional right, his individual right to aspire to be governor of his people. He brought that to bear. Circumstantially, he didn't become the candidate of the party. But we could all see when the leader of the party, the president-elect, came to campaign in Benue. And he had to raise Barnabas Gemade's hands. We saw the excitement among supporters of the APC in Benue. Senator George Akume was in the same Congress, the same rally. He was excited because the common consensus among political leaders in Benue is to bring development to the people of Benue. So we do not expect anything less than that at the moment. Thank you.
So talking about these issues one after the other, it is said that Senator Gemade never openly campaigned for Tinubu. Does he have any issue with the president-elect?
Well, I wouldn't be seen as joining issues with the leadership of the party in Benue. I am a political practitioner. I weigh people's public opinion. I also monitor political, projects. And I can tell you that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's victory in Benue was a collective effort. Yes, Senator Barnabas Gemade ran for election and lost. I am not speaking, I'm not holding briefs for Barnabas Gemade. But I can actually tell you that the senator has contributed his best to the development of Benue. In no mean feat. And his party, during the election and afterwards, has been the APC. So while I do not hold brief for Senator Barnabas Gemade, I would also tell you in clear terms that he contributed his best to see that the candidate of the party emerges, as winner in the election. If you check the demography of votes in Benue, Barnabas Gemade comes from the TIV people have, different conglomerations. Barnabas Gemade comes from the Vandekia Konshisha sector. In Konshisha local government, he was able to deliver his, immediate polling units. But if you look at it across boards, the candidate of the Labour Party from Benue, Honorable Herman Hembe, has been in the House of Reps for a long time. So he has the support of the people, I mean of his immediate people. He comes from the same, his name is on the ballot. And I mean, politics is local. Every politics is local. Your people would prefer that they vote for you, even when their votes are not going to amount to much, than vote for some person that they think is usurping the chances of their people. So the people of Konshisha would naturally tend towards Honorable Hembe. But in the long run, APC won overwhelmingly in Benue. Senator George Akume did a whole lot to ensure that the APC wins in Benue. The credit goes to him. Professor Shija, I mean, has considerable political clout in Benue. The other candidates, former Attorney General Michael Ondoaka, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and Senator Barnabas Gemade himself, they felt aggrieved at the point that, look, the primaries, the processes during the primaries election of the party they were not given an even ground. But at the long run, I think they buried their hatchets and decided to join hands to ensure that their party, our party, the APC, wins in Benue. And I would not want to say anything that will be taken out of context, but at this point too, I will tell you that the state chairman in Benue is of the tendency that, I mean, it will benefit him more if all the stakeholders in Benue are under the same platform. So I wouldn't want to say anything to be taken out of context again, but I can tell you that there is, I mean, considerable harmony within the ranks of the APC in Benue. Thank you.
All right. So, also, all right. Before I go to my next question, well, to be fair on the part of the state chairman, when it was on the program, all he basically talked about was how to, bring together all of the stakeholders and different tendencies in the party in that state. Majorly talking about unifying the state. But of course, as a stakeholder, we would appreciate you helping us get a clear sense of what is happening in that state and how the party can forge a way forward, ahead of all of this wrangling. So I would like you to tell us the relationship between Senator Gemade and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, because there were accusations that he worked for Atiku in the last election.
I have just told you that I am not holding briefs for Senator Gemade. I am not a member of staff of Senator Barnabas Gemade. I do not live with Senator Barnabas Gemade. I wouldn't be able to tell what he does or what he doesn't do at his spare time or at any time chosen by him. But if you look at it critically, if you are going to suspect anybody to forge an alliance whatsoever with the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Senator Barnabas Gemade would be among the least people. Because I will take you down memory lane. Senator Barnabas Gemade was chairman of the Benue Cement Company. He did his best as, the general manager of the company. I have interacted with him, and he told me when he came in on board, the company was barely turning out less than 300,000 tons of cement, but he increased it to about 1 million, tons. When the current democratic process came in 1999, Benue Cement Company was, privatized, and the people who benefited from this privatization program, in fact, at a point, protested against Senator Barnabas Gemade. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was vice president at the time, and he was in charge of the privatization process. So it would personally, and to every political onlooker, a cursory look, will tell you that Senator Gemade wouldn't be able to forge any alliance with Atiku Abubakar. I mean, if he does this, he does not have anything to gain. He basically does not have anything to gain by forging an alliance with Atiku Abubakar. I think Senator Gemade has been in the National Assembly. He has been, before then, he was chairman of the PDP. He left the PDP. He felt aggrieved with the PDP and he left. And he led senators and other governors to join the APC at its formative stage. And he's kept faith with the party. Senator George Akume has been a leader of the APC in Benue. He has kept faith with the party. So there was going to be no need for either of Senator Gemade or Senator Akume or anybody within the ranks of the APC, for that matter, to go to forge alliances with maybe not just PDP alone, even other political parties. Because they didn't stand to gain anything from such alliances. So I wouldn't be categorical, but I would tell you to a reasonable extent that Senator Barnabas Gemade did not forge any alliances that we could see with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And
all right. So
I am not sure that, yeah.
Okay, if you say Senator Gemade contributed his best to the emergence of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president-elect, he has been challenged to produce evidence, like a picture, to show that he attended any Tinubu's rally. Is he ready to produce the evidence?
Well, you are a television station. The TVC, monitored campaign rallies across the country. I am not going to be joining issues with the state chairman of the party. He's my friend. He's my contemporary. I wish him all the best, because when he succeeds, the party succeeds. And then again, to come to your question, there were instances that Senator Gemade, I'm not holding brief for Senator Barnabas Gemade. I am not his staff. But I can tell you, I attended the rally where Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who was the candidate of the party, came to the rally, and distinguished Senator Barnabas Gemade, to the best of my knowledge, mobilized his resources, used his resources to mobilize people for that rally, and the candidate of the party came and raised his hands. What other evidences would be more than that? Barnabas Gemade has a radio station of sort in Benue. And all through the election period, the station, though, would seek to be objective. But you could also deduce from certain points that their principal had told them, to use that opportunity, to use that platform to mobilize support for his party, the APC. So if you talk of evidences, while I have not met Senator Gemade to say, oh, distinguished senator, please, what is the evidence that you participated during the electioneering period with the APC candidate? I will tell you that during the rally, when President-elect Bola Tinubu came to Benue, came to Makurdi, precisely, Senator Barnabas Gemade was there. If you check your video clips, you would see what I'm talking about. So even Senator George Akume himself, whose only interest that I know would be for the party to succeed in Benue, wouldn't want to go to the point of pointing accusing fingers on his contemporary. And I know that the party chairman in Benue too only wants peace, because I have told you before, without political harmony, much will be left undone.
All right. So let me finally on this particular issue. Now, is it true that the opposition dominated the election in Senator Gemade's constituency? And also, in April 2023, Senator Gemade was reportedly expelled by the PDP for alleged anti-party activities. He was accused of supporting a UNPP candidate against his own party. Now, with this background, don't you think the people will be convinced that he was actually guilty this time too?
Well, I have said it again and again that I do not hold briefs whatsoever for Senator Barnabas Gemade. Yeah, I am a learner. So I learn under the tutelage of the leaders of the APC and even every political leader in Benue. But to come to terms with the situation in Benue, you would have to be dispassionate about this. And being dispassionate entails that you would have to bring in allegations of anti-party activity with commensurate evidences, you know? So it would amount to, petty talks when you begin to insinuate that, oh, because this person wasn't so visible, he didn't join the party. You asked if the opposition made inroads in Gemade's constituency. Well, the Labour Party had a candidate from Konshisha local government. You know. Vandekia local government had a stake in the elections. Majority of the people who contested, the candidate of the party from the People's Democratic Party, the incumbent speaker, is from Vandekia local government, you know. So definitely he would have his people. So when you say oppositions made inroads into Gemade's immediate constituency, Gemade does not have that exclusivity to say, oh, because I'm Senator Barnabas Gemade, no political party should have a stake or should make moves. This is politics. You are going to use the arsenals that you have at your disposal, you know. So one of those arsenals would be sentiments that, oh, because the candidate of my party comes from my place, or the candidate of this party comes from my place, he is my brother, I will go and vote for my brother. That's what happened in the circumstances around Barnabas Gemade's immediate political constituency. And I am saying this on my personal notes as a grassroots mobilizer in the state, as some person, as a man who, went around every nook and crannies of the state with my own meager resources to weigh the pulse of the people. And at the end of it all, the party triumphed. APC candidates won, even in Barnabas Gemade's immediate constituency. APC won the Vandekia Konshisha reps ticket. Herman Hembe, the incumbent reps member, had consistently, won that ticket. But this time around, his candidate from the Labour Party couldn't win. So the APC won. So you should be fair to the distinguished senator and accord, reasonable credits to him on that note. The presidential election came. You could check from the results. APC won overwhelmingly in both local governments that makes up Gemade's immediate constituency. So I would also repeat it again that there is no crisis in the APC in Benue. What appears to be like a crisis is what is usual in every political body, even in our families. There are times we have, minimal squabbles over who gets this who gets that. So it's expected. I'm not going to sit here to tell you that, oh, Senator Barnabas Gemade worked for the PDP. Oh, this person worked for the APC. This person didn't work. No. What we seek in the APC in Benue is for unity to prevail, so that the incoming administration of the Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia would have an environment to put their promises to work. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Abonu, I'm sure you understand how important it is for us to get the true position of issues concerning all of this. So, would you blame our party members who have expressed their frustration concerning this issue when in April 2003, Senator Gemade was reportedly expelled by the PDP for alleged anti-party activities? He was accused of supporting a UNPP candidate against the candidates of his party. So, with this background, don't you think people will be convinced that he was guilty this time too?
Well, you would refer to the people of Benue. You are not going to use what happened in 2003 to begin to say, yeah, because this happened in 2003, this should also happen in 2023. There is a whole 20 years difference. And in politics, even a day is a long time, So while in 2003, I was the youth leader of Reverend Father Moses Oshio Adasu's campaign. May his soul rest in peace. Father Adasu was in the AD, the Alliance for Democracy. He was the Alliance for Democracy's governorship candidate in Benue. And I had that close proximity with Father Adasu, late Father Adasu, that he would always tell me, look, this is what goes on. Mike Unku, the person you're trying to mention, was the candidate of the UNCP in Benue in 2003. Senator Barnabas Gemade was a foundation member of the People's Democratic Party in Benue. He rose to become the national chairman of the party in Benue. You would not expect that this person who has become a major stakeholder, in the PDP at that time, would want to work against his own party. But politics. Some person told me while I was running for election that you are going to hear that, oh, this was the circumstances your father married your mother. This is you. They were going to introduce you to yourself. So a lot of things fly when politics is concerned. Bringing it to 2023. Senator Barnabas Gemade, recently we read in the papers that there was, 30 members of the party from Benue, including Senator Gemade, Professor Shija, and a couple of others were expelled from the party. But the National Working Committee of the party, under the knowledgeable leadership of Senator Abdullahi Adamu, thought contrarily to that position. And it is all in a bid to bring decorum, to bring an enabling environment for the incoming administration to take off. So we are not going to encourage, frictions within the ranks of the APC in Benue. We are not going to encourage an environment, an atmosphere of rancor. No. We are going to provide
let's take a break.
An atmosphere where